the Sacred Chapel and Convent of Pink Sisters. So what is the heritage of Pink Sisters Convent of Tagaytay? The heritage of the Pink Sisters Convent and Chapel in Tagaytay lies in its decades-long commitment to perpetual adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. The convent was established in the early 20th century by the Sister Servants of the Holy Spirit of Perpetual Adoration, a congregation of nuns devoted to a contemplative way of life. As a religious site, the convent has become known for its tranquil setting, prayerful atmosphere, and distinctive pink habits worn by the nuns. And it attracts visitors seeking solace and meditation, as well as those seeking to ask for prayers from the nuns. The chapel located on the grounds provided visitors with a space for quiet contemplation, and the nuns continue to serve as spiritual guides and source of inspiration for many. And the heritage of the Pink Sister Convent and Chapel lies in its commitment to a life of faith and devotion to the Catholic sacraments. This is the second history. Ibaloy tribe. The indigenous people of the Philippines are ethno-linguistic groups or subgroups that maintain partial isolation or independence throughout the colonial era. And this is the Ibaloy tribe. So, Ibaloy is derived from a prefix significant pertaining and body or house together than meaning people who live in houses. The Ibaloy are one of the indigenous people collectively known as Igorot, which who live in the Cordillera Central of Luzon. The Ibaloy live in the southeastern part of Benguet Province. The area is rich in mineral resources such as copper, gold, pyrite, and limestone. Plants and animals are also abundant in the forests and mountains, and there is an extensive water system that includes the Bued River and the Agno River and the Amburayan River. Mount Pulag, the third highest mountain in the Philippines, is located in their territory and is also a culturally important place. Consider a place where spirits join their ancestors. The Ibaloy are distributed in the mountain valleys and settlements. Their ancestors probably came from the coast of Lingayen and Ilocos, who then migrated to the southern Cordillera Range before settling. Ang pag-angkin ng lupang ninuno ng mga komunidad ng Baloy kinabibilangan ng mga ibang bagyo. The native language of the Ibaloy people is Ibaloy, also known as Inibaloy or Nabaloy. It has three dialects: Bukod, Daklan, Kabayan. The Ibaloy often also speak Ilocano and Tagalog as a second language. Baloy society consists of the rich, Baknang, and the three poor classes. The cowhens, Pastol, farmhands, Sibli, and the non-Ibaloy slaves, Banga and Bagaen. The Ibaloy have a rich material culture, especially their purification process which uses salt water to prevent organ decay. Pounded guava and patani leaves are applied to the corpse to prevent maggot or worm infestation while the body die. The process takes anywhere from 2 months to even a year until the body hardens. The Baloy build their houses, balay or baeng, near their farms. They usually build on a 5-foot falls and contain only one windowless room. Music is also important among the Ibaloy, with the jaws, harps, nose flute, native guitar, bamboo striking instruments, drums, gongs, and many others. They are considered sacred and must always be played for a reason, such as a Canao Fest. Men wear a G-string and the wealthy include a dark blue blanket, while the rest use a white one. Women wear a blouse and a skirt. Older Ibalay people may have tattooed arms as a sign of prestige. Due to the Benguet fertile soil and climate, the Ibaloy are primarily farmers. There are two types of rice. This is the Kintoman and Talon. Many Ibaloys are now Christians of various denominations, though many of them still practice traditional Ibaloy faith. The Ibaloy believe in two kinds of spirits. The nature spirits are associated with calamities, while the ancestral ones make their presence known in dreams or by making a family member sick. Thank you for watching. I am Jade Anwar from BS Ed Math 1A.
Good day everyone, I am Arjumar M. Khalib, BS Ed Math 1A. The Bantayan Church and the Fork Healing Festival are the two examples of Filipino cultural heritage from Visayas that I shall describe in this video. Bantayan Church. The Bantayan Church was the first parish to be created in Cebu, 4 years before the parish of San Nicolas in Cebu City. Now, I'll talk to you about this famous church in Cebu City. However, the current church was constructed in 1839 and made up of stone. In 1863, it was completed. The Bantayan Church is steadfast and has witnessed many significant historical occurrences on Bantayan Island. On June 11, 1580, the Augustinian missionaries established it. The Bantayanon worshippers' perseverance, commitment, and worship are only some of the qualities that give to the church its wonderful appearance, in addition to its physical features. Without the citizens of Bantayan, the church would not have endured to the present day. Fork Healing Festival. During the administration of Governor Orlando Fua Jr., the inaugural Folk Healing Festival was held in 2010. Every Holy Week in the Philippines province of Siquijir, there is a celebration dedicated to traditional medicine called the Folk Healing Celebration. While the event takes place throughout the entire Lenten season and Holy Week, Black Saturday is the day when faithful healers assemble and prepare their potions. A folk healer is non-licensed practitioner of the healing arts who use conventional methods, herbal treatment and the power of suggestions. Folk medicine and therapeutic methods were not always expressly sanctioned by the dominant religious organization, hence the word folk.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Jana Marie Eugenio Francisco, and today we will virtually visit two of the most well-known Philippine cultural heritage that can be found in the geographic areas of Mindanao. The first is the Rizal Shrine. This is the major historical landmark of Dapitan City. It refers to the more or less 16-hectare estate of Dr. Jose P. Rizal, which he purchased in Barangay Talisay and is approximately 2 kilometers from the City Hall. In August 1892, a Spaniard from Manila brought lottery tickets to Dapitan. Dr. Jose Rizal, Captain Ricardo Carnicero, the politico-military governor of Dapitan at that time, and a Spaniard residing in Dipolog bought a ticket which luckily won for them 20,000 peso. Rizal's share was 6,200 pesos. He gave 2,000 pesos to his father and 200 pesos to Basa, his friend in Hong Kong. He invested his remaining winnings in business and bought lands and built houses in Talisay, which is now the Rizal Shrine. In March 1893, Rizal transferred to Talisay. Later on, his mother Doña Teodora Alonso, his sisters, some relatives and neighbors from Calamba, Laguna came and lived with him. It was here where Rizal exemplified the ideal that a life which is not consecrated to a great ideal is useless. It is a feeble loss in the field without forming part of an edifice. He epitomized the existence of a man with a mission, making the best of every moment, even if the gods weave his tragic fate. He spent his lonely but productive and altruistic life for 4 years in banishment, working as a rural physician, farmer, merchant, inventor, painter, sculptor, archaeologist, linguist, grammarian, teacher, architect, poet, biologist, composer, surveyor, environmentalist, aside from being a lover, father, and brother to all Dapitanuns. The court-martial that tried Rizal imposed to him not only capital punishment but also the payment of indemnity to the state in the amount of 100,000 pesos, the obligation to pay such indemnity being transmissible to the heirs of the accused. On January 15, 1897, Rizal's properties in Talisay were confiscated by the Spanish authorities and Don Cosme Bormio was appointed custodian of the sequestered properties. In 1913, it was converted by the government into a park dedicated to the memory of Rizal. Years later, the park was reconstructed, and in 1940, the late President Manuel L. Quezon of the Commonwealth Government, after visiting Dapitan several times, issued Proclamation number 616 declaring it as the Rizal National Park, after which its administration were under the following: Jose Rizal National Centennial Commission through Executive Order 253 issued on June 27, 1957 during the administration of the late President Carlos P. Garcia. National Heroes Commission by virtue of Executive Order Number 20 issued on December 27, 1962, and National Historical Commission effected through Republic Act Number 4368 approved on June 19, 1965, on September 24, 1972, by virtue of Presidential Decree Number 1, the National Heroes Commission became the National Historical Institute. The Rizal Shrine was declared as one of the national shrines through Presidential Decree Number 105, issued by President Ferdinand E. Marcos on January 24, 1973. If you'd like to step back in time and take a peek at Dabao's recent and somehow tumultuous past, the second cultural heritage in the Philippines, located at Mindanao, the Japanese Tunnel Family Resort and Restaurant is a must. The tunnel has elicited much fascination among locals and tourists, being a reminder of the war that shaped the history of the world. Today, the Japanese tunnel is one of Dabao's finest attractions. The 300-meter-long tunnel was discovered by the landowners January 24, 1973. If you'd like to step back in time and take a peek at Dabao's recent and somehow tumultuous past, the second cultural heritage in the Philippines, located at Mindanao, the Japanese Tunnel Family Resort and Restaurant is a must. The tunnel has elicited much fascination among locals and tourists, being a reminder of the war that shaped the history of the world. Today, the Japanese tunnel is one of Dabao's finest attractions. The 300-meter-long tunnel was discovered by the landowners while excavating the area in preparation for a hotel's construction. Passageways, rooms, armaments, and other artifacts were discovered inside the tunnel. It was later confirmed that the tunnel was dug out by war prisoners by order of the Japanese Imperial Army during the Second World War. The items found inside the tunnel were evidence that it was used by Japanese soldiers to seek cover as they were chased by the American Liberating Army. The tunnel was also used as headquarters of the country's erstwhile invaders, with small chambers used as offices and dungeons for prisoners. Vintage guns, explosives, and other ammo were also found inside the tunnel, proof that it was also used as an armory. During the excavation, gold molders were also found inside the tunnel. This fueled the rumor that the Imperial Army either stored their ever-elusive treasure inside or were digging for gold. No proof whatsoever was found to substantiate these claims, but it definitely adds to the mystery of the place. The Japanese tunnel is located along the South Diversion Road in Hillcrest Subdivision, Matina, Balusong, Davao City. It is about 30 minutes from downtown Davao by car. The resort is hard to miss. A concrete inscription of its name is placed on a steep slope by the hotel rooms. Some tour providers in the city include the tunnel in their itineraries. However, if you're visiting the attraction on your own, you can hire a cab from anywhere in the city. Coming from downtown Davao, it should not cost you more than 200 pesos for a one-way trip. It is up to you if you'd want to ask the driver to wait or if you'd rather just wait for another one to come along after you're done with the tour. Since it is located just outside a subdivision, it is not hard to find a taxi to take you back to the city or your hotel. For a very cheap entrance rate of 50 pesos, guests can already explore the tunnel through a guided tour. Standing guard at the entrance of the tunnel are two life-size statues of Japanese soldiers who seem to welcome visitors into their lair. Several other statues of these soldiers and women garbed in traditional Japanese kimonos can found inside the tunnel. Vintage weaponry including bullets, rifles, and machine guns are also displayed inside the tunnel. Makeshift offices, dungeons, and water bunkers can also be found deeper into the tunnel. There are also small chapels. One of them houses replicas of gold bars and the famous golden Buddha. Those who wish to linger in the area can book any of the rooms at the 3-story hotel. At an affordable rate, guests can already enjoy well-appointed accommodations, wireless internet access, and an outdoor pool. The pool is a popular venue for kids' parties and small events. The restaurant within the property is making a name for itself as it serves some of the best Japanese, Western, Filipino, and Chinese cuisine in the city. There is also a coffee shop that offers a relaxing ambiance and some excellent brews. This Japanese tunnel in Matina, Balusong is only one of the many tunnels discovered in the hilly portions of southern Davao. Due to fast-paced developments in the city in the past few decades, these tunnels have either been filled in or forgotten. Fortunately, the Japanese Tunnel Family Resort and Restaurant remains to give every visitor a glimpse of the city's colorful, albeit frightening past.